wait is over. You were waiting, right?
Oh, God. No. Please, no.
The end is nigh. Darwin and Kat are back.
Gobble, gobble. Welcome to our Thanksgiving special.
It must be that time of year if Darwin is turning into a turkey.
You're judging me, I can tell.
No, not at all. I like the gobble, gobble. It suits you.
Gobble, gobble. All right. That's how we start off our Thanksgiving special. Well, welcome to it. And here we are. We have all things turkey to talk about.
Happy Thanksgiving, Darwin. I love Thanksgiving. Are you a Thanksgiving person?
I love Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, Kat. I do. I love it.
Friends, family, food, and about half the table that I'm allergic to and can't eat, but I still love it.
That's why you developed or discovered all new food allergies this year. So it may not be as much fun for you. But you mentioned family. I don't know about that part. I like the friends part.
The friends
I'm
part.
old enough. I'm at that age. Yeah, I'm at that age. No, it's true. Well, what are you going to, that's right. Your Thanksgiving might be a little more sad this year, right? But you're still going to eat all the stuff.
You know what? We might go out for Chinese food.
Oh, okay. I like that idea. All right. Hey, whatever it is, it's all about the food, right? Do you get like sweet and sour turkey? Is there like a special Thanksgiving version of that? I don't know.
Well, first of all, I don't know if anybody is open. I mean, it might be like pulling on the doors of the Chinese restaurant. They're like, go away. It's a holiday. So we have a couple of Thanksgiving stories. I know you have one. It's turned into a tradition. I love it every year. And I don't know if you remember what I'm going to talk about.
You committed murder on the air one year.
You do remember.
I do. I left you alone and there was a murder.
Well, here's the story. You were out sick. So I was left to my own devices to do the show, the Darwin and Kat radio show, with just a board op and me. And I had a little bit of time to fill. So I thought I would sacrifice a tofurkey live on air for Thanksgiving.
It sounds about right. I mean, I had a fever and I turned on the radio and I thought,
you're like, oh God, what is she doing? What is she doing?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with tofurkey?
I've had a turducken, never had a tofurkey.
Right.
So.
But here's the difference, because a turducken was a live living creature. Well, actually, I think it's
Correct.
3 live living creatures in this sort of like human centipede of a dinner. This was a tofurkey. This is just tofu smushed together with like a little face and seasonings on it. So I announced that we were going to do the sacrifice because every year, you know, the White House pardons a turkey, but we were not going to pardon a tofurkey. So I brought it in and I pulled out my blade and I explained that it was very sharp because a dull blade would just be cruel. You want to get it over quickly. And I thought people would just be laughing. We had gobble gobble sound effects. The phones went crazy. They're like, you're a monster. You're actually going to kill something on the air. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to kill something on the air. They didn't know that it was a tofu product.
And they were so offended.
They were really, really sad. And it's funny because you know me, I am the biggest animal lover. If somebody says somewhere that a kitten had a nightmare, I'm going to be bummed out for a solid 5 minutes. I would not actually
lose sleep.
I will lose sleep. I'm not going to kill anything live on air. But that tofurkey had it coming.
It was all congealed and looking at you.
Well, it had been sitting out a while, looking up with me with its soybean eyeballs.
The whole vegan community was just very, very upset.
I was on
How
their
dare
shit
you.
list. So that's what happened that year. And I actually had to go on the next show when you came back from your fever dream and apologize and kind of explain that nothing actually died.
It was the one time I left you alone and someone was there to push the buttons and I thought, I'm okay taking a sick day. Nope.
Were you proud of me when I did our show good?
Hey, we got complaints. We were doing something right.
Hey, someone was listening. But I want to hear your Thanksgiving story that has now turned into a tradition.
Yeah, this became a thing every year on the air. This became a repeated story that would come up again and again. All right. College. Nobody's very smart in college, right? Ironically. You're supposed to go to college to get an education. Okay. It's in progress, I guess. Work in progress. And I was working at a Wendy's when I was in college. I was the night manager. Little known fact, most people don't know this, that the night before Thanksgiving is the busiest night for fast food. Busiest day, busiest night. A lot of travel. Normally you'd have maybe 4 or 5 people on in the evening. But on that night, I had a full crew. I had 10 to 11 people on, maybe 12.
You had responsibility.
Yes, I did. Important. I had, those 5-piece nuggets and those Frosties. They were moving.
Before we move on with this story, I'm sorry to interrupt. Didn't you ask people in the drive-thru if they wanted to piggy size it?
I was guilty of that, yes.
Not
People come
biggie
through
size,
and
piggy size.
I would. And nobody caught on to it. Rarely. Really?
Can you
You'd be
just
like, what?
can you just ask me now? Hi, can I get a 5-piece nugget? Make that a meal?
Would you like to piggy size that?
Yeah, I'll go ahead.
And they would, just like that. And I would just be like, I was the worst manager. It was terrible. I should have been fired every day. So yeah, I'm at my job and I'm like, and I'm hosting Thanksgiving the next day in my apartment, some people coming over. And all of a sudden I realized it's my break time. Guess what I don't have for the next day?
A turkey?
Yeah, you kind of need one. So I was like, I'll go next door to the Safeway. I'll go to the grocery store and pick up a turkey. So I go in the Safeway. The only turkeys they have they're all in one case. They're like half off. And I'm like, oh, that's a deal. I'll get one. So I bring it back and my boss looks at me and she's like, that is a gigantic turkey. Why did you buy a huge turkey? And she looked at it and she goes, dude, you bought a 22-pound frozen turkey. What do you plan to do with this thing? And I was like, cook it.
Yeah, eat it, lady. What do you think?
And she said, when? I said, tomorrow. Really? Tomorrow? How? Because this thing's going to take a week to thaw.
You had no idea. You had no idea you got to defrost this beast.
No, I just thought, I'll leave it on the counter all night. Stupid. I said, what do I do? And she was like, I don't know. So, you can't, so we Google it. The idea was fill it up with water and dump it out. And fill it up with water and dump it out. And fill it up with water and dump it out all night. Meh. So I get off of work at 1 a.m. I bring this thing home, which, by the way, I put it in the refrigerator at work. Why? I don't know. Why did I need to keep this thing cool? I bring it home and I have a case of wine. So what do I start to do? I start to drink and fill it up with water.
You don't want to drink alone. You have a frozen turkey with you. It's not sad.
Yeah. My roommates went to bed. I said, I got this. Couple hours of this. It'll be ready. We're
going to have a feast tomorrow. You're going to really enjoy your Thursday.
It's going to be great. It's going to be grand. Time's going on. My hands are off, like shriveled. You know when you get the shriveled hands? They're awful. And I was like, this is awful. So I get the big yellow gloves. My hands are going awful.
You've got these giant gloves that you could call a falcon and have it land. And you're just setting the scene here. You're just dumping the water in and out for hours, right?
My arms are exhausted from picking this thing up and dumping it out and dumping it. So a bottle of wine's gone. And then 2 bottles are gone.
Oh, boy.
It's white wine. And I'm on to bottle number 3.
You're 3 deep in some Chardonnay, and you're still dumping. Filling and dumping.
Thinking, like, how frozen is this? So I decide I'm going to reach inside. Oh, no. Because I've gotten the stuff inside out, the parts, like the
gut bag.
I got that out. But I want to see how frozen it is. So I reach up inside of it, and I get my whole arm in there, and it's still pretty frozen. I got so much of my arm in there that I got my arm in, including up below my elbow.
Respect, man.
But now here's the problem. I'm a little drunk and I can't get my arm out. So there I was with a 22-pound frozen turkey stuck to my arm. And I pick it up off the counter and it's like, boom. And then I fall on the floor with this thing stuck to my arm. And I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? So I'm trying to carry it like a baby with my other arm, and I'm going over.
Hold the head. Oh, wait, the head's gone.
Oh, no. So I wake up my roommates. Help me. They're like, what is wrong with you?
They must have thought they were hallucinating when they saw this.
Dude, how much have you had to drink? I'm like, that's not the problem right now. This is the problem.
It's not a problem at all.
I can't feel my hand. And I mean, this is bad. And I'm worried. Now, of course, in your drunk mind, you're not thinking straight. What am I thinking?
That you're going to live this way forever?
Or I'm going to lose my arm.
That too.
They get butter and they're trying to butter it up. They can't get it off.
This is turning into Last Tango in Paris.
Absolutely. It's just getting worse. They pour a whole bottle of olive oil in it to try to get my arm out. Nope.
Any herbs too to make it more savory? Lemon.
Squirt a little lemon juice in there. And it's getting bad. They don't know what to do. And they're just like, I don't know. Can we cut it? And they take a knife and they can't because it's frozen. And
you need a bandsaw or something.
I'm going to call 911. And they're like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to tell them? I'm like, then I got a frozen turkey in my arm.
Tell them the truth. Right.
So of course I call and the dispatcher's like, sir, have you been drinking?
What makes you think I've been drinking?
I'm trying, when someone's been drinking and they're trying really hard to sound like they're not.
What
drunk.
are you talking about? You're over enunciating everything.
It's almost like you were there. Yeah. It's like, a little bit, and it's just like,
just a drop, sir.
So the fire department shows up and
no.
of course Yep. And of course, they think this is hilarious. I think it's fair for them to laugh because it is. And they had to cut it off. They actually had to have
your arm?
Special sauce. Yes, my whole arm.
So that's how you're missing an arm.
Yeah. They didn't want to sacrifice a perfectly good turkey,
Did you tell them, like, can you just save the dark meat?
They did actually.
Who wants a leg? They're about to go deep on this thing.
I threw it in the oven afterward and roasted it anyway.
Did you find the wishbone?
Yeah.
Did you make a wish?
So I did cook half the turkey. So I washed it off. And
amazing.
I cooked half the turkey because the other half was like not good.
So question.
Not my arm. Yeah.
Your roommates, were they awake and witnessing this? And if so, did they eat your recovered arm turkey?
Yeah. So they go to bed. We're just going to bed.
You're on your own, dude.
All right. So I wash it up and I put it in the oven and I end up like staying up because I have this adrenaline now.
It's a rush when the fire department cuts a turkey off your arm. I agree.
You can't sleep after that. How do you go to bed after that?
You can't.
I make the whole Thanksgiving dinner, everything ready to go. They wake up like 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock rolls around and one of my roommates' mothers come by and dinner is ready and I fall asleep at the table.
It was a rough night.
Yeah, it was. And I just was so tired. I was just like.
What did the turkey look like at this point?
It looked exactly like you would imagine.
Okay.
It looked like if you could fit a turkey in a garbage disposal, that's what it looked like. The half of it that was still around. I can't believe anyone ate it though. Like, would you eat that? I
think it's a beautiful commitment to the holiday.
It was like a half a breast. It was like half of it was just mangled turkey. It's almost indescribable.
You should come up with a new name for it and just present it on the table. This is turkey deconstructed. Just go with it. It's supposed to look like this.
And I have no shame in telling this story. I was once very stupid.
Thank you. It's not Thanksgiving until I hear about your arm stuck up a turkey's ass.
So one year we took this a step further. Kat thought you thought it'd be really funny if we actually called the Butterball Hotline and I put on my best drunk voice and asked for help because I never called the Butterball Hotline. I called 911. But what if I'd called the Butterball Hotline? That was your whole idea.
Yeah, they're there to help. They get questions like, well, the little timer never popped up. How do I tell if it's done? Things like that. I'm sure they have a whole bunch of answers for whatever could go wrong.
So we have the audio from that originally broadcast in November 2007, and we're going to share that with you today.
Wow, an impressive display of insanity.
The Darwin and Kat Radio Show.
But I joked for years afterward. I should have called Butterball.
They might have been able to help you.
You know what?
As much as 911.
This is my year. I am going to get in my drunk fist here. I'm going to call Butterball now so that I can relive. Let's see here. So I can relive the years I never had of calling them. Okay, hold on here.
Good morning, Butterball Help Hotline.
Hi, I have a situation.
How can I help you, sir?
Okay, well, I bought turkey, one of yours, last night at the store. As frozen, I have 22 pounds. I've been trying to thaw it out all night, but I decided to put my arm in it, and it's stuck. My elbow's stuck. It's turkey. What do I do?
Your arm is stuck in the frozen turkey?
Yes.
How, and you can't pull it out?
My arm's stuck in your friggin' turkey.
Have you tried running it under? Can you get to the sink? Can you run it underwater?
It's cold. It's frozen. Are you laughing at me?
Well, it is a little amusing, yes. I haven't quite gotten this particular problem before.
Am I going to lose my arm?
No, that won't happen.
Are you sure?
I'm very sure.
What do I do with this?
Can you get to the sink?
I'm at the sink.
Can you run it underwater? Not too warm.
It's not working. My elbow's stuck.
Have you tried something slippery like butter, or do you know what Pam is? It's aerosol.
I've used all this stuff, and my arm is stuck in your turkey's ass.
Sir?
Are you laughing at me?
No, sir, I'm
this
not.
Isn't funny.
I'm curious about something, though. Have you been drinking today?
Why do you ask?
Because you sound like you might be just a little inebriated.
I've had a little bit of wine because this is boring. Am I gonna die?
No, you're not going to die.
What do I do? How I found a recipe in Hustler for lemon and dilly turkey, and I'm trying to make this. What
was that again? Lemon and
dillweed. My arm's stuck in the turkey's ass.
And you've tried butter?
I'm out of butter. I use the spray on butter. Olive oil. I want to cook my turkey. I don't know what to do.
You know what? If it's this bad, sir, you may have to call. You were able to call me. May I recommend that you call 911 and see if they can send someone to help you get your arm out of the turkey?
Well, are they going to cut it off? And then can I still cook it if they cut it off?
Well, it depends on how much damage they do to it and what they use. If they use any actual petroleum, then I'm afraid the turkey will be ruined.
Well, if not, can I, where do I put the stuffing?
Right where your arm is.
Oh, no. It's cold.
You'll be okay.
I should call 911.
I recommend that you call 911.
Okay. Your turkey's ass is cold. I suck.
Well, that's because they're frozen.
You suck.
I'm sorry.
You suck.
Goodbye.
I think I have a blowtorch. I could actually help you. We don't need to call the authorities.
I'm sorry. I almost started laughing when I was talking to that poor guy. Well, that's, I guess, what would have happened if I called a few years ago when that actually happened to me.
Hey, now he'll have something to tell his family.
I feel like I'm drunk now after trying to speak like one.
You're living it.
I was living the junk. All right, so that's that.
Hey, Darwin, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, Kat. And remember, no matter what your turkey looks like and no matter whose limb it's been on, enjoy it.